So let's see. We're paying a little homage to one of my favorite musicians. His birthday is actually a long time ago. He was born in 1943 on December 31st. John Denver's birthday is today, so that's pretty cool. So if you guys want to, we can sing along with this next one.
Happy New Year! Hi, my name is Bobby. Welcome to Mile High Church. We're so glad that you've decided to spend part of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up around Mile High Church for you and your family. This year's Back to Basics series is called The Rites of Thriving. Each Sunday in January, we'll explore spiritual life and the divine truth of you. And our intention setting workshop is tomorrow, January 1st, in person or live stream, and includes practitioner-led workshops. Let's make 2024 a year of creative purpose. And let's just take a minute to appreciate some of our favorite moments from 2023.
Well, the year 2023 was a good one for the Mile High family. The singers were singing a song and the little ones sang along. Then the bunny man came. Yeah. Now we're drawing on the ground. Bring the kids cause we're drawing on the ground. People are dancing to a song, making pancakes all morning long. Day of the Dead. Oh, what the heck is this one? 10% happier, 11% happier, 12% happier. Merry Christmas.
For more information about anything you've heard today, stop by the Event Center or check us out online at milehighchurch.org.
Oh man, good job, Bobby. That's so good. Here we go. All right, we're gonna sing a song called "All That I Need." The lyrics are on the screen. It's pretty easy. Here we go. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free, I'm released. I've been set free, I'm released. The mind creates all burdens of my past are gone away at last. Oh, I've been set free, I'm released. Oh, I need the lyrics there. Sweet rain that washes me clean. Sweet rain that washes me clean. The mind creates all things, into my life it brings. Sweet rain that washes me clean. All that I need comes to me. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me.
And good morning, Mile High Church. Happy almost New Year. Well, I dare ask it. One word to describe your 2023. Anybody? Awesome. Crazy. Okay. Good answers. But we're so glad you're here this morning. You know, balance to me isn't the state of having all things together. It's my ability to accept myself as I am in any given moment. And I think Mile High Church, this sanctuary in person here or online, is an opportunity for each of us to do just that, to accept ourselves exactly as we are, because we believe here that's how the sacred finds us. It's how it grabs and informs our heart about next steps, and it gives us that opportunity to have and experience the Spirit right here and right now. So I'm so glad that you're here, that we can participate in that together. If you're new here, we have a vision and mission we love to recite each week. It's coming up on the screens right now. If you want to say it along with me, it goes like this. Our vision: oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission: to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. And I'm so grateful this morning that giving her first official Sunday morning talk here at Mile High Church is our own Reverend Jackie Harris. And before we go to that, I'm going to invite Dr. Patty and any members of our Prayer and Care Center to join us. We're going to light a memorial candle today for anyone who we lost and loved in 2023. And so I invite us to bring them to heart as we light this candle today. And I'm so grateful for this Prayer and Care Center team who is there for us in times of celebration, but especially in times of grief and of mourning. And I'll let Dr. Patty lead us in this process.
So the candle has been lit, and I give thanks for all the lives that have touched us and have transcended into the greater domain. I also give thanks for the friends and the family of Mile High Church. Also, in this moment, I give thanks for our precious animal kingdom that represents so much unconditional love, how they have touched our hearts. So we give thanks for that recognition of that eternal life now and forevermore. And I also would say, if any of you are experiencing any grief, grief takes place because we have loved so much, please contact Lee or myself at the Prayer Care Center, because we have different workshops that we offer from time to time that really help us move through it. God bless and thank you.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I give thanks for the clarity, the grace of stillness. And that stillness allows us to just move into that greater spaciousness of our heart. To recognize that the flame of our heart, that flame is flickering. And it never goes out, for it is that light of truth. So above, so below, so all around about is the very presence of the infinite. So I give thanks for this God life, for this spiritual life, for this harmonic love, the flame, the love that flickers. And I behold this presence. I'm grateful for this dome of consciousness, Mile High Church, for each one of you, all of us gathered here and everyone gathered online, for we are connected. And the prayers that have gone out early this morning for peace, serenity, kindness, and goodness for this planet are felt and known. For there's nowhere where God is not. Nowhere. So I give thanks for the tiniest creatures. I give thanks for the earth. I give thanks for the plant life, for the trees. And I give thanks for each one of you. So we allow our light to shine brightly, and what I declare is from that warmth of that light, there is that living kindness, that high regard, that transcendent regard that we can stand back and we can observe and we can respond, not react to life. I give thanks for this inner knowingness that God is. And oh, I bless Reverend Jackie this day, an amazing talk. Her amazing presence is felt and known. I give thanks for all the many ministries of Mile High Church.
And most importantly, I give thanks for each one of you. For I recognize as we move into the new year that those who have passed this past year from our sight, those who have slipped that leash and moved into the greater, that the life that they have shared with us will always be remembered. So with blessings abound and thanksgiving being the clarity and the grace, these words are released as spoken to that divine alchemy of love and intelligence. And so it is. Amen.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Lord, pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Lord, pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart. Yes, open the eyes of my heart. 'Cause I want to see you. I want to see you.
Our first reading this morning is from the person who taught me how to be a minister. Her name is Dr. Linda McNamara, and she says, "Some people say we should live life as if it is our last day on earth. Maybe we should live life as if it is our first day on earth, conscious, awake, aware of the beauty and bounty around us, being childlike in our wonder." And from Henry Nouwen, "I am gradually learning that the call to gratitude asks us to say, everything is grace. As long as we remain resentful about things we wish had not happened, about relationships we wish had turned out differently, mistakes we wish we had not made. Part of our heart remains isolated, unable to bear fruit in the new life ahead of us. It is a way we hold part of ourselves apart from God.
When I am down and oh, my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom and the Mile High Band. I'll tell you about the significance of that song. I specifically had requested it of Tom for today. And I'm so happy to share this brief moment in time with Reverend Josh. I asked him if he would actually read the quote the way it is written by our popular way of having the quote of Emerson.
Yes, from Ralph Waldo Emerson. I often say, if I could live this quote, I'd be the happiest man alive. It goes like this: finish each day and be done with it. Oh, you have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be cumbered with your old nonsense.
Thank you. I so appreciate his sharing that. And it was interesting because I picked this quote because it's a perfect segue from 2023 to 2024. Because what it does is it reminds us of the importance of letting that stuff go so that we can have a better life. And so that's what the talk is pretty much going to speak to. But I was asked the question why I used in the talk title every day instead of each day. Well, I am a lifelong learner, so when someone poses a question, I love to get to the answer, if it's possible to get to the answer. And so I looked up if there was a reason why sometimes you saw it as each and sometimes you saw it as every day. And then I knew this was the talk I was supposed to give. In 1854, Emerson wrote a letter to his daughter Ellen, who was having some difficulties in school. She was away at school at the time. And here is what his letter said. And that's why I said the popularized version, but here is what his original letter said to his daughter. You must finish a term and finish every day and be done with it. For manners and for wise living, it is a vice to remember. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as fast as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it well and serenely, and with too high a spirit to be cumbered with your old nonsense. This day, for all that is good and fair, is too dear with its hopes and invitations to waste a moment on the rotten yesterday. Isn't it interesting how we cleaned that up to make it sound? And yet, the reason that this struck me so deeply was that, and if you know anything about me, I have a tendency to get a little emotional sometimes. It reminded me of my own father. When I went to started undergraduate school, when things seemed to not be going well, my father would send me postcards of encouragement. And so I thought, wow, this is the talk I'm supposed to give, because then I know my father is right here with me. And the reason I love this song that Tom just sang is not only does it remind me that God is always there for me and always holding me up and always helping me get through times, but it also always reminds me of my own father. My own father, who was a Renaissance man and encouraged me to be and do anything because everything was a possibility. And what you don't know is this is a man who was born in 1898. And he came through a time when he watched automobiles, telephones. He saw all of this happening. And as a woman, you know that it was a difficult time then. But he said to me, you can be and do anything you want. And that's what I believe the relationship was that Emerson had with his daughter, Ellen. Actually, as she got older, she traveled with him on many of the trips that he took around the world, and she actually became his assistant. So he had a very close relationship. So this is for my dad. Actually, my daddy. For those of you who don't use that term, I have always referred to him as daddy. So the other thing that came to me as I was preparing this talk was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. One of the first characters you see, if you, even in reading the book, but if you've watched the movie, is Jacob Marley. And in a way, this talk speaks to the fact that Jacob Marley came to see Ebenezer Scrooge right at the beginning to tell him what he was in for. And remember, he had the chains on him. he was carrying around all that past muck. And so I thought, well, that's the other thing we don't want to do. We don't want to carry around all of the past. We want to be able to let it go. So before I get into my talking points, I want to ask you, and this is not true confessions. This is an internal thing I'd like you to think about. Do you have things that you are carrying around with you that you haven't been able to let go of that are impacting your life? You know they're impacting your life, but you can't seem to find a way to let it go. Hopefully today, when you leave here, you'll have some idea of how you can start working to remove these things so that you don't step into that brand new year that we have coming tomorrow and carry it with you like the chains of Jacob Marley. Maybe that's a visual you should have. Is that what I want my life to look like? Now, I will say I can't speak directly to trauma. That's a whole different thing. But I'm speaking to the general absurdities of life that happen that we tend to carry around with us. So the first step is to let it go. And of course, I could have had Tom sing, from Frozen, I suppose. But letting it go, that is an easy thing to say and a tough thing to do. So I'm going to tell you a story. At one time, hunters were trying to hunt monkeys. And monkeys are very fast. And the monkeys would run up the trees and hide out in the greenery of the tree. And they just could not catch these monkeys. So someone came up with a brilliant idea. They took a jar and they filled the jar with something that the monkey really loved, probably food, and put it in the jar and put these jars at the base of the trees. And then the hunters hid. After some time, the monkeys came down out of the trees, saw these jars, said, wow, look, bonus, I don't have to hunt for food. I hear food right here. Put their hand in the jar, squeezed their hand, and you know what happened? The jar came with them. They couldn't get what was inside that jar unless they found another way, but they were so intent, and that's what we do. And so, of course, they got captured by the hunters. Brilliant. But that's what we do. It's another visual for us to think about. How many times do we reach in the jar to something that looks like something we want, and we hold on to it so tightly that it kind of takes over our life? I taught a class a little while ago, and there's some folks in the room here who took this class, so you can doze off for this moment. But it was from Michael Singer, Living Untethered. And he talks about, we kind of function in a 3-ring circus, and we're going to talk about the first ring, which is everything that's outside of us is what we focus on. And now, what do we do with that? How do we take it in? We have to be very careful how we take it in because of what it can do to our mind if we're not careful. He talks about samskaras. And samskaras are from the yogic tradition, and they're impressions that are left in our mind from things that happened. So something negative happens, and what do I do with it? Do I let it just move through me? Or do I stop it and hold it into my mind, and eventually it moves into my heart? And you know when that has happened, what's happening to you as a human being. You're unhappy. So many things feel wrong. And he says we must learn how to allow that to move outside of ourselves. Resist it. Resist it. When it's right in your face, sometimes it's like, how am I going to resist this? Don't attach to it. Of course, that's the whole concept of surrender. Ooh, there's a hard one for us. How do we surrender? But what you need to try to learn to do is to let those impressions go. Don't let them stick to you. And that's exactly what Emerson is saying to his daughter. Absurdities happen in life. And of course, in our day and time, you could say that to your child and they'd probably go, yes, but you don't really know, Mom or Dad, what this is like. And it's true. Everybody's got to work through their own samskaras, but try to let it pass through, because what happens is you hold on to it, and then every time something happens in your life similar, it's piling on. And we don't want to carry that. We want to let it go. We want to take his advice and say, all right, that was absurd, that was ridiculous to happen, but don't hold on to it. This is an interesting thing for all of us to think about. When we hold on to these concepts out there, these things that are happening to us, are they happening right now? No. So why? Do you understand the absurdity of it? Why do we hold on to it? It's not even happening now. You see the power of the mind. And that's the beauty of this teaching, is that we can start to move out of that if we really take it in, if we really realize that there's a lot more to this life than what we're seeing out here. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, and Raymond Charles Barker in the 365 Science of Mind said this: "Let us then cease weeping over the shortcomings and mistakes and evils of our yesterdays, and steadfastly beholding the face of the great and divine reality, let us resolve to walk in the light where there is no darkness." So we're all going to learn how to let it go. Maybe singing the song will help. I don't know. But the second point is to trust yourself. And I think that song that Tom sang about the heart, opening the heart, that's what this is all about. Trust yourself. You have an internal mechanism that will give you all the right answers, folks. You don't have to rely on all the social media, the television, all of those things that go on. You can trust yourself. Carl Jung talks about poles, that we seem to be attracted to one pole or another, and the one that I'm going to mention to you are fear and trust. If you live in fear, you cannot trust. David Stendhal Rast, who is someone just an aside note here, that during the pandemic, I got very interested in the whole notion of contemplation, of getting to that quiet space, of really getting inside and being able to see what's going on there. And one of many authors that I was introduced to was David Stendhal Rast, and he talks about there being a distinction between fear and anxiety. He says fear is optional, folks. Fear is optional. Anxiety isn't. Anxiety is actually a natural part of our beingness. So how do we handle it? The definition of anxiety might be choking. And in the Latin, the anxiety actually means a narrowing, a narrowness. And he talks about the fact that fear doesn't like that narrowness. We want nothing to do with narrowness when we're in fear. And yet the truth of it is that for many of us, we were born through a narrow birth canal. And what happened? New life. So why not look at anxiety or that narrowness as another opportunity for new life, something new to come to you? So do you see, what I'm trying to help you see is language is huge in how we see ourselves and how we see the world. It's not just in the words that people speak, but what am I saying to myself? What am I saying to myself? I also have been introduced to an author recently whose name is Loretta Coleman Brown. And she has written a book called What Makes You Come Alive, A Spiritual Walk with Howard Thurman. And she tells this story, speaking of trusting yourself, trusting that inner voice. She tells the story that when she had just finished her academic training, she was living in the Great Smoky Mountains. For those of you who are not East Coasters, you may not know that. It sits between Tennessee, that area sits between Tennessee and North Carolina. It's a beautiful part of our country. Shenandoah River, Blue Ridge Mountains, you know that whole song. That it's a beautiful part of our country, and she was living there at the time. And she had gotten an offer for an academic position at Swarthmore in Pennsylvania. And so she's contemplating what to do, and she decides not to take the position. All right. Any of you who have been children or have children, when the opportunity comes for their first job and they say, no, I'm not going to take it. Her family was beside themselves. They said, you have no other opportunity. And she said, no, I just feel like this isn't right for me. 5 years later, she had accepted a position at the University of Colorado in Boulder. And at that time, she was diagnosed as needing a heart transplant. And she found a surgeon who she really loved that was going to do the surgery, and he said to her, you're so fortunate that you don't live on the East Coast. And she was, and why would that be? And he said, there are so many transplant centers on the East Coast, all vying for the same organs. And he said, out here, there's only one, and it's at UCLA in California. He said, and many people are offering up those organs. And you've got a good blood type, you've got your body mass is good, we'll be able to easily find a heart for you. And he said, but if you were on the East Coast, it's quite likely that you would die before you had your heart transplant. She trusted that inner voice. She didn't know. She had no, wouldn't that be nice to have a magic ball that you could look at to say, this is why I'm not doing this. But look at how profound that is in her life. And you may not have a profound experience like that, but trust yourself. Go inside, listen, and we're going to talk about that in the next step, the importance of that inner work we have to do. Right now, I want to share with you, at this time, my very favorite Howard Thurman quote. There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. No one knows you better than you know yourself. So trust yourself. The final point is to be present. We spend a lot of time out here in the past, and then we think about what's happening in the future. The present moment is right here. And I have to think that Emerson might have said, the moment. Absurdities happen all the time. Live in this moment. Be in this moment. The rest has happened. You're not sure what's happening in the future, but live in this moment. You'll be so much happier. And how do we do that? He says, Emerson says that just remember that this day, this moment is all there is. It's all you have. Isn't it interesting how we spend so much time thinking about the past, looking for the future? This moment is all we have. Someone said to me this morning out in the lobby, and that I said, so how's the new year going to be for you? And the comment was made, well, if I wake up tomorrow, that's living in the moment. That's recognizing this is your moment. Sean Ginwright, another new author I've been introduced to, has written The Four Pivots, and I highly recommend. I recommend all of these books. Some of them we have in the bookstore, some we don't, but I recommend them all. But Sean Ginwright makes the comment that we're addicted to frenzy. If we were living in the present moment, that wouldn't be so true. But we're addicted to frenzy. And he uses an example from his early life when he was establishing himself. He was traveling all over the country, and he would get to the airport, and he had young children at the time, and he'd talk to his father on the phone, and his father would say to him, Sean, your children will not be this age forever. And I think that's such a huge thing for us to remember. If we live in this moment, we can appreciate all our loved ones around us. We can appreciate them now. We don't have to say, well, when I achieve this or when I get there. But you know very well that we've just come out of a season of what I call frenzy. Just think about it. You've been in stores, people are trying to get the last whatever special gift there is for the children this year. It's who we are. We seem to be addicted to it. So what we need to do is find a way to get addicted to calm. You know, wouldn't that make a world that works for everybody if we all would just calm down? Of course, my mother's words in my ears as a young child, calm down, calm down. But I mean that seriously as we look at the present. So make sure that you go inside because that's your divine design in there. So I really encourage you to do that. So here are some suggestions on how you get to present. And you all should know what the big one is. Do your daily practices. I hope you all have a daily practice. There is not a one-size-fits-all in daily practices. You may be a prayer. You may be a meditator. You may be a contemplator. You may be a journaler. You may be someone who uses a gratitude journal at the end of every day or the beginning of every day. You may live with compassion. You may live with forgiveness. Those are all practices. But I encourage you to practice, to do that. And so another thing that is important to me is nature. I live in the foothills, and there is nothing that will bring you back to the present moment more than stepping into nature. And Loretta Coleman Brown says, find a bench to sit on and just sit. Find a path that you enjoy walking on. I know for me, we have a pond in our neighborhood, and I love to walk around it and be with nature. Nature doesn't expect anything. Nature is there. Nature is the great teacher, and Howard Thurman believed that. He said nature was a balm for us. So many. And look what Emerson wrote. One of his first great works was nature. So nature is a great healer, and I encourage you all, I know it's a little harder in the winter to do that, but find a way. And then, as you're in nature, ask Spirit a question. Don't be afraid. Ask Spirit a question and then wait for the answer. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sit on that rock or sit on that bench waiting for Spirit to answer you. But you will be surprised how Spirit does answer you if you trust yourself and you trust that inner voice that is always speaking to you. Always, always. Howard Thurman, I love this also. He says, the Spirit of God dances with us all the time. And do you know what our responsibility is? To be a good dance partner. So I encourage us as we look at this and we think about being present. We're going to let go. We're going to let it go first, whatever that stuff is we've been enjoying, I guess, carrying around. We're going to trust ourselves, and then we're going to work on being present, however that looks to us. So, are you ready to do that? All right, I'm glad to hear that. So I'm going to give you some information to take home with you also, and I apologize to those online. You know, I'm a newbie. What do I know? There's a card that they should be handing out to you as you leave, our ushers. Thank you for that, ushers. And it's a little journal practice that you can use, and this is end of year, because Reverend Josh is going to do his intention setting tomorrow. But these are end-of-year practices. So the journal practice is to sit down and think about, what did I accomplish in 2023? What did I do that I'd never done before? What new things did you learn? And finally, what do you want to shed from 2023 as you enter 2024? Now, that last one is often used as a burning bowl experience. So you write down what it is you don't want to take with you, and then carefully you might want to take it outside and burn it. But so these are available for you. This is a suggested practice. But in addition, I have put out on the guest services counter a list of New Year's Eve practices from around the world. They're really fascinating. And this, I apologize. I will say to our online or to anyone in the room who doesn't get one of these, you can Google or do an internet search on exactly this, New Year's Eve practices around the world, and it will give you many more than these, but here are some. One of them that I'm going to give you all to think about. In Ireland, they sleep on mistletoe, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. Do you know why? It improves their love life in the next year. So there's one, but there are many there from many parts of the world, and I encourage you to take them and make your own practice. Make your own practice, because Elizabeth Gilbert said this about the new year. She says, you only get one brand new, unsoiled, unspoiled, beautiful, and fresh new year once a year. One time. Use it well. Let us pray. If our practitioner prayer partners will stand, please, and hold in consciousness this wonderful center of love and light. All of those who are online, we include them in this prayer, lifting all up as we close out this 2023 year. We're going to let go of those things that no longer serve us, and we're going to remember that absurdities happen in life. And when they come at us, we let them pass through. We don't hold on to them. We let them go. Because we know that tomorrow is a brand new day. And we're going to trust ourselves by going inside and really discovering God within us. And we're going to be present. We're going to do those beautiful practices that help us come alive. That help us come alive. We're going to let it go, trust ourselves, and then we're going to be present. We're going to end 2023 being present. Being present to the divine. I'm so deeply thankful for the truth that God is all there is, no matter how we choose to see God. Because there is a power within each one of us that's greater than we are, and we can use it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to this beautiful community we call Mile High, here with us this morning and with us online. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts each person brings. And as we just take this in, we take a deep breath, we let it out, knowing that we are recognizing our humanity. What can we bring to this world of ours to make it a world that works for everyone? Thank you, Spirit. And so it is.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Tom Litch, Kent Rattenstrauss. Jackie, I hope today is, and well, I know it is, it's an important date on the path of your ministerial journey. I just honor all of the decades that you've committed to your spiritual path, your commitment to being a minister, and it's so cool when we all get to benefit from it by hearing such wisdom, right? So let's hear it for Reverend Jackie Harris, everyone. It's so great to have everyone here. So great to have the 400 people or so who are watching us live online from everywhere from Indiana to Japan, Spain, Arizona, California. I know we have people watching us in Pennsylvania, Montana, and Nebraska as well. So welcome to all of our spiritual family. And as we move into this time of offering, just so grateful for all of what we co-created together in 2023. I'm so grateful to Reverend Jackie and our Make a Difference ministry for all of the kids and families that we've helped in our community. I'm so grateful for everyone who was a part of this service throughout the year, and just know, we come here for ourselves, but our being here becomes a blessing for others as well. And thank you for all that you contribute financially to the Mile High Church community as well. With that, we can take our gifts and bless them, and we can say our offering affirmation together. It goes like this: divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
1 second, Michael. I just want to say, this is a song I want to sing to all of you and to all of us. It kind of sends us into the new year with a good blessing of I want you to have it all. And then this song has so many examples of how I want to bless all of us. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I think this song is worth 1,000 pictures. So just cross your fingers after you've done all of your basket business, and let's try this, shall we? Okay. May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you have no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead with the beating in your chest. May you get treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh, well, here's to the hearts you're gonna break, and here's to the lives you're gonna change, and here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be good sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you get the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress, having no possessions but immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. And may you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own it each moment to the next. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa. And may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh, well, here's to the hearts you're gonna break, and here's to the lives you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. And here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 Oh, I want you to have it all you can imagine. Oh, no matter what your path is, if you believe it, then anything can happen. Go, 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 raise your glasses. Go, 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 you can have it all. I toast you. Here's to the hearts you're gonna break, and here's to the lives you're gonna change, and here's for the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. And here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. And here's to always making me laugh. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all.
Thank you, Tom Litch, for being willing to take risks with us. We appreciate you, Bijou Barbosa, Mike Marlier, Kent Rottenstrauss. Does anyone know where to buy massive amounts of mistletoe, by the way? It's all sold out on Amazon, Jackie. Hey, if you're new to Mile High Church, we're so glad you're here. We have information for you in our Welcome Center, or please visit our website. Coming to the front of the stage are our incredible prayer practitioners. I'm going to request today, as a way of completing your 2023, to get a prayer from one of these folks. And I'm even going to give you the prayer request if you want to use it. You go up there. They're not weird or anything. They're really nice. And they speak a great truth for you. And the prayer request is this: to let go of anything that no longer belongs in your life so that you can step into what your life has waiting for you. So have an experience of prayer today. You won't regret it at all. I also want to invite you to come back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow, or join us online, and to spend an hour with your life. To pay attention to your life, to listen to your life, to articulate the life that you want to live. That's what our philosophy is all about. And so this intention setting that we're having is all about doing that. It's a really important thing for me to do here each year. And if you want to go even deeper, we have some incredible practitioners that are going to be facilitating. It's all love donation mini workshops afterwards. So looking forward to that. Next week, Dr. Michelle and I begin our Back to Basics series. So it's January. It's always a great time. And Reverend Jackie, we're doing something new, sponsored by our Works of Heart bookstore. We're doing doing a book study, and you're starting us off with Pico Iyer.
Pico Iyer. He was here everything was prior to COVID, but he was here. Some of you may have seen him. And he spoke to this book, The Art of Stillness. And it really speaks to, he talks about, he's a travel writer if you're unfamiliar with him, and he speaks to going nowhere. And that's the inner journey. And I just want to share that at the very beginning of it, he talks about, in case this piques your interest some, he talks about going up into the mountains of California where there was a monastery and getting to know and spend time with Leonard Cohen, who was up there in his emptying self. So it's a great.
Looking forward to that. That's going to be on Thursdays. Learn more online. Let's stand and try a different benediction today. So if you want, repeat after me. I finished 2023 and I am done with it. I have done what I could. Blunders and absurdities, of course, crept in. But I forget them now. Tomorrow is a new day. And I begin it serenely. And so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrow. Oh, and may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Oh, well, here's to the hearts you're gonna break. Here's to the lives you're gonna change. And here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's for the good times you're gonna have. You don't need money, you got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. 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 Oh, I want you to have it all. All you can imagine. Oh, no matter where the path is, if you believe it, then anything can happen. Oh, go, go, raise your glasses. Go, go, go. You can have it all. And I toast you. Here's to the hearts you're gonna bring. Here's to the lives you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times you're gonna have. You don't need money, got free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. Want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. Want you to have it. Here's to the good times we gonna have. Here's to always making me laugh. And here's for the fact that I'll be sad without you. I wants you to have it all.